My role right now, alongside many other people like me, is to raise awareness of the dire situation that we see, not only in the United Kingdom, but across the Western world. It's become painfully clear that we have a serious problem. Our political elite have been compromised. They've been co-opted into serving a master that is clearly not the people that they were elected to represent. And whoever, or whatever, that master is, it does not act in the interests of ordinary men and women like us. From Australia to Canada, from Europe to the United States, we're hearing the same message again and again. Political leaders are simply not listening, not caring, and are relentlessly pushing forward with an agenda that is not born out of duty, service, or responsibility to either their people or their nation. At times, the ambition behind it feels like demonic. It's so detached, so destructive, and so utterly indifferent to the human cost. And we don't have to guess how we arrived here. We can look back at our recent history, like we did with the video on Tony Blair, and clearly identify the steps that led us to this point. We can look back further still and trace the ideological roots of these ideas. And then a little bit further than that, we can also see how last time we went down this path, we ended up. And we can also at this time be honest about our own history. The Western nations did ride roughshod over other parts of the world. And while some like to joke from Monty Python, what have the Romans ever done for us? The truth is that those actions destabilised and disenfranchised entire regions. And that instability, it didn't disappear, it's now come back to roost. But here's what's so often left out of the conversation. Most of our forebears, mine and yours, were treated just as brutally. In the workhouse, in the factories, in the mines. Ordinary British people, working people, were ground down, exploited, and then discarded by the very same systems of power. We're told endlessly about the class system in the UK, but what that narrative really does is it pits the working class against the middle class, which breeds resentment, competition, and division. Meanwhile, the true upper elite exists in this rarefied space that is completely isolated from us. A space we can't enter, a space we're never allowed to challenge. So instead, the divisions are manufactured elsewhere, along ethnic lines, racial lines, gender, identity. Any line that they can draw to break us down into small, controllable, bite-sized groups. And here's the truth that they fear the most. The most dangerous thing to the elites and their puppets, it's not anger, it's unity. If the rest of us spoke together, identified our common ground rather than our differences, and demanded change with one voice, the game would change overnight. The tools of the state can stop individuals, me, you. They can disrupt movements in their early stages, but they cannot stop everyone. Which brings me to my final point. Violence is not necessary to achieve this. In fact, violence would play directly into their hands. The real power, it lies in maintaining the moral high ground, in showing a better way, and in refusing calmly, firmly and collectively to accept any of this bullshit anymore. So far, 385 people have signed the open letter to Keir Starmer. Yes, it is a drop in the ocean, but every movement begins as a drop. We can build a new version of Britain, of the West, for us, by us. One that earns our loyalty because it serves its people, not because it demands obedience. I'm simply asking you not to lose faith, because you do matter and you can make a difference. If you want to sign the letter, if you want to read the letter, the link's in the description and it's also in my bio. If you're still struggling to get to it, DM me and I'll send it straight across to you. If you agree with it, sign the letter. Share it with everyone you know. Let's keep this momentum going, because from a single acorn, a mighty English oak can grow. Remember that.